Good evening, students, and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. So, we'll start with today's daily quiz, but before that, a quick small announcement that is tomorrow on Republic Day 26th January, because it is a national holiday, we would not be having any daily quiz. However, we'll resume that from day after tomorrow, that is from 27th January. Now, let us take a look at our first question. What is AMPHEX? A. It is a technology developed by Indian Institute of Science to detect new species of amphibians in the Western Ghats. It is a technology transfer mission with France to develop submarines. It is a tri-service combined exercise of India. It is a global initiative to protect frogs in the world. So we have taken this question because according to PIB, the Tri-Services Amphibious Exercise, which is known as AMPHEX. So this is a biennial Tri-Services exercise. Tri-Services means it includes Navy, Air Force and the Army. So it is a tri-service exercise and it was conducted at Kakinada in Andhra Pradesh from 17th to 22nd January 2023. So it aims at increasing the coordination between all the arms of our military, that is Navy, Air Force and Army. So this edition, it was the largest ever AMPHEX that was conducted till date, and the participating forces, they undertook many kinds of complex exercises in all domains of amphibious operations over these 5 days. So what is the correct answer over here? It is C, that AMPHEX is a tri-service combined exercise of India. Now we move on to our next question. Which statements are true regarding norovirus? It spreads through sharing of food. It causes gastroenteritis. It is more common during winters. So we have taken this question because recently in Kerala, 2 cases of norovirus infection that has caused gastrointestinal infection were seen in a school. 2 class 1 students in Ernakulam district, they are suffering from norovirus related gastrointestinal infection. Now norovirus, it is circulating in humans for almost more than 50 years now, and it is considered as one of the biggest cause of gastroenteritis. Globally, it kills around 2 lakh people every year. Now, norovirus, it usually survives and thrives in the winter season. So that is why the disease that is caused by it, that leads to diarrhea, vomiting, nausea, high temperature, it is also known as winter vomiting disease. The infection, the norovirus, it can be transmitted through foods that are contaminated with the virus. It can be caused due to touching surfaces which are contaminated by virus, touching the mouth, being in direct contact with someone who is also suffering from this. So over here, which of the following statements are true? This is true, that yes, it can spread through sharing of food. It does cause gastroenteritis and it is more common during winters. So the correct answer here is D. Now the third question. Which of these statements are correct? DGCA, Directorate General of Civil Aviation, is an independent agency of the Government of India. It enforces the civil air safety standards in the country. Now, recently there have been many cases of misconduct and mismanagement in many of the airlines, right? So, because of that, Air India has been fined for the various incidents that took place on a December flight of Air India, and this has been done by DGCA, Directorate General of Civil Aviation. Now, DGCA, it is an attached office of the Ministry of Civil Aviation. So, it is not an independent office of the Government of India. And yes, the DGCA, It is a regulatory body in the field of civil aviation which primarily deals with air safety related issues. So it is responsible for regulation of air transport services to India, from India, or within India, that is both the domestic and the international sites, and it is also responsible for enforcement of civil air regulations, air safety, and airworthiness standards. That is, it decides whether a particular flight, a particular airline is worthy for flying or not. It also coordinates all the regulatory functions with the International Civil Aviation Organization, which sets up the safety standards and the airworthiness standards for the flights across the world, which the national agencies can use. So over here, this is a wrong statement. It is not an independent agency. It is an attached office. This is correct. Yes, it enforces the civil air safety standards in the country. So the correct answer here is B. Now the fourth question. Which of the following statements are true? 2024 has been declared as the International Year of Millet by United Nations. India is the largest producer of millet in the world. So we have taken this news because recently Millets Mahotsav, a 2-day millet conclave, was organized in Andhra Pradesh, where all the stakeholders of the food processing sector, with a special focus on millets, the millet producers, the millet processors, was held. And why was it held? It is because the United Nations General Assembly declared the year 2023 as the International Year of Millets. So apart from this Millet Mahotsav, the Ministry of Food Processing and Industries, which is actually hosting this Millet Mahotsav, is also going to conduct a mega food event from 3rd to 5th November in New Delhi to provide a platform for all the stakeholders related to production, processing of these millets to interact and have a dialogue and develop better techniques to make millets more readily available and more readily acceptable amongst the people. So millets, what are they? They are grown in more than 130 countries and they are a traditional food for more than half a billion people in Asia and Africa. They are very important not just because of their nutritional standards but also because they are usually grown in water scarce regions and they are grown by small farmers who do not have access to irrigational facilities. So apart from being nutritionally very good, they are also very economically advantageous for increasing the income of farmers in the developing nations. India is one of the leading producers of millet in the world and we produce around 41% of the global production. So in the comments, can you state examples of a few millet crops of India? So what are the correct statements here? This is wrong. Not 2024 but 2023 has been declared as the International Year of Millet. This is correct. Yes, India is the largest producer with 41% of the global production of millets coming from India. So the right answer here is B. Now let us take a look at this PYQ which was asked in the year 2019. With reference to forced labor, also known as Vishti, in India during the Gupta period, which one of the following statements are correct? It was considered as a source of income for the state, a sort of tax paid by the people. It was totally absent in Madhya Pradesh and Kathiawar region of Gupta Empire. The forced laborer was entitled to weekly wages. The eldest son of the laborer was sent as the forced laborer. So which of these are correct? Now this is definitely wrong because if it is forced labor, why will a person get any kind of wages? This labor was done as a tax provided to the empire, so that is why the person did not get any wages. This is also wrong because anyone could be sent as a forced laborer, and it is not particularly only the eldest son that needs to be sent. This is also wrong because, contrary to this statement, most of the inscriptions of the Gupta time, they say that Vishti or forced labor was more prevalent in Madhya Pradesh and the Kathiawar regions of the Gupta Empire. So this is a correct statement. Forced labor or Vishti was kind of a revenue source for the state. It was a source of income for the state, and it was kind of a tax that was being paid by the people living in the Gupta Empire. Now we come to the fact of the day, which is related to National Voters' Day. So 25th January is considered as the National Voters' Day in India, and this time we are celebrating our 13th National Voter Day, the theme for which is Nothing Like Voting, I Vote for Sure. So National Voters Day, it started way back in the year 2011, and since then it is being celebrated every year all across the country. And this day, why this particular date was chosen, because this was the date that is the foundation day of Election Commission of India. On 25th January 1950, the Election Commission of India, just a day before our Republic Day, it came into being. Now, the main purpose of these celebrations of the National Voter Day is to create awareness regarding electoral methods and elections amongst the citizens and encourage them to participate in the electoral process, in participating in our democracy. It is dedicated to all the voters of the country, and this day is also used to facilitate the enrollment of the voters, especially the voters who have just turned 18 years and they are now eligible for voting. So, at many places, programs are organized to facilitate and hand over the elector photo identity cards or epic cards to the newly inducted voters. So it is not just celebrated at a national level, it is celebrated at other levels like state level, district level, and even at constituency level. So that is all about today's daily quiz. Please remember that tomorrow we won't be having a daily quiz. We'll meet you on 27th January. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, do not forget to like it, share and subscribe to our channel for more such updates. So thank you very much and have a very good day ahead.